Well, another developing story. The Supreme Court now has to make the choice of life or death for a nurse, Aruna, who has been in a permanent vegetative state for the last 37 years. The Supreme Court has said this is an extremely important case because it will be cited in later years as a precedent. It applauded the doctors and nurses at the hospital for taking such good care of her, but they also said that they would look at the petitioner's case, which said it was a cruelty to continue to keep Aruna alive in this state.
Aruna Shanbaug brought out of the shadows into the centre of the euthanasia debate. For 37 years, she has lived in a secluded ward in King Edward Memorial Hospital in a permanent vegetative state after being sodomized and strangled by a ward boy. Now, the Supreme Court is considering a plea for mercy killing moved by writer Pinky Virani, who has written a book on her. Virani's argument: since Aruna can't speak, see, hear, or even think for herself, keeping her alive violates her right to live with dignity.
We have posed a question to the court to define what is life actually. Living in this kind of a condition for 37 years, does it amount to living a life of dignity?
The panel of doctors appointed by the Supreme Court agree that Aruna's condition will never improve. But they point out that her caregivers, the nurses at KEM, are willing to look after her. Unless that changes, a life or death decision would not be fair, especially since Aruna is unable to participate in that decision.
If you turn her over, she is in pain. Yeah, but I mean, again, I repeat that we cannot put ourselves in her place. We can try and make the best possible decisions for her, but we cannot put ourselves in her place.
The court said, "We appreciate the step that Pinky Virani has taken. We also applaud the outstanding care the staff has taken at the KEM hospital. There is not a single bed sore on Aruna despite lying in bed for 37 years. It's marvelous." It goes on to quote Macbeth: "The nearer in blood, the bloodier." The doctors may be hand in glove with relatives to kill patients. Medical ethics have reduced, so the judiciary must be there. The court has reserved its judgment on this complex issue till next week. Till now, the Indian courts have not ruled in favour of mercy killing out of concern for its misuse and leaning towards the right for life. The Shanbaug case is another test. In New Delhi, Kashish for NDTV.